So you have the DNA report?
Yes, I do.
I want you to just look at page 20. Are you there?
Yes, I'm at page 20.
There's a table there, right?
Yes, there's a table.
You see number 42?
Come again?
Number 42 on the table.
Yes, I can see number 42, the 10-1.
Number 42 is exhibit labeled 10-1. Yeah? Which is a cutting from a free kitenge dress.
Is a cutting from the collar area of the multicolored free kitenge dress recovered on top of the bed in the bedroom opposite the master bedroom.
This dress was recovered opposite the master bedroom, right? According to this?
Yes, according to this.
And what's the result of the DNA?
There's low threshold DNA.
On 10-1, the DNA result is low threshold DNA. So, just to be clear, that doesn't have Mole Katanga's DNA on it, right?
I'm not a DNA expert.
No, low threshold DNA. Does it have female DNA, for example?
It has low threshold DNA written here.
There was not enough DNA to make a conclusion. Is that what that means?
My Lord, we object to that. We object to that. The witness is clear. He's not a DNA expert. And counsel is forcing him to answer questions to a report. Mr. Mubiru was here, my Lord.
The result is that it is low threshold DNA, and he has confirmed.
Most of them.
Okay. I want to ask him one more question about that, my Lord, and it's this. Does that result say Mole Katanga's DNA? What you read there?
I'm not a DNA expert, my Lord. What is here is low threshold DNA.
It says that there is low threshold DNA.
It doesn't say Mole Katanga.
No.
Okay.
It is low.
Much obliged. I think the point I'm making to you is that you people tested a dress that had nobody's DNA on. But let us continue. Let us continue. So now, you will agree with me.
So maybe we are in the DNA report. Where are we now?
No,
I'm asking you questions and answering them.
We'll ask you the next question.
You're the one answering. So now we can go back to your report.
Okay.
You told us yesterday that you don't know what CS1 and CS2 are, and they are not your control samples.
All these samples were submitted as blind samples.
Yeah. And before this court, there is no evidence of your own gunshot residue test.
What do you mean exactly?
You did not test yourself for gunshot residue.
Rain controls the method.
Did you test yourself for gunshot residue?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Okay. Now, you will agree with me, first of all, that there is, apart from D5, there is no other item here that has more than 3 detected substances.
Apart from?
D5.
There is no?
There is no other item that has more than 3 detected substances.
That's true.
So I want to suggest to you, again about D5. That it is your evidence that in D5 you found a breakdown product of nitrocellulose.
Yes, that's true.
I want to suggest to you that the ammunition in this case had a single base powder.
I don't know.
You don't know?
Single base powder, the ammunition in this case?
Yes.
What our results represent, that it was diphenylamine is detected, and the breakdown product for nitrocellulose is also detected.
Yes. So it has a single base powder
Single base, according to your definition, was
with nitrocellulose.
nitrocellulose present only.
Yes.
That was your definition. In the other, this one here, in this also.
You, what did you find?
We found nitroglycerin as one of the energetic compounds, and then we found the breakdown product of nitrocellulose, which is nitrophenylamine.
In D5.
In just a moment. In your test,
In our
In D5.
in D5, you asked,
we found
Yes.
my lord, what is the question? Before we even go, because now I was answering a different question, and now into different
they
question.
asked you whether you found in
D5.
D5 A.
I asked you if you found nitrophenylamine in D5.
In D5,
Yes. I put it to you that nitrophenylamine, according to you, is a breakdown product.
In D5,
You found a
say
breakdown product.
In D5, I found a breakdown product of nitrocellulose.
that's what I said.
That's what you
Yes.
said in
Yes.
D5.
Yes, my lord.
Yes.
Then what's the other question?
So in
So then I
D5,
said-
did you find that the ammunition used was single base
Or double base or
double
triple base.
Or
Based
triple
on what?
Did you test the ammunition to discover if it was single base, double base, or triple base?
To test, I
The
mean,
gunpowder.
you mean the
Yes.
raw gunpowder? I
Did you
didn't
find
test.
whether
I didn't test the raw gunpowder, my lord. If that's your question.
Okay.
So, okay, in my test in D5, I didn't test.
No, my lord, that's a different question. He's asking whether I tested the
No,
ammunition.
he asked you
Mhm.
that in D5,
Mhm.
did you detect whether the ammunition was single base, double base, or triple base?
My lord, let me-
Gunpowder.
let me
That
ask my
is-
question.
is that
Maybe
what-
no. Let me ask this question, my lord.
Okay.
My question is
But you had asked this question. Are you abandoning it?
no.
What is your question now?
Okay, it's that one.
Which one,
The one my Lord has asked.
my lord? What have you asked?
No, that's what I had, and that's what I had started writing.
Which
that
one?
in my test, that whether in your test, the ammunition, the gunpowder was single base, double base, or triple base.
In the general testing here.
In D5.
In
But you
D5.
cannot speak of D5. This is an entire scene, my lord.
No, in D5.
In D5, we find that
In D5.
in item D5, we find nitrophenylamine, which is from nitrocellulose, and then we find derivatives of diphenylamine.
Now, I want you to go to the ballistics report.
So let him write. In your test in D5, you found
Some organisms don't
NDPA
slow it
and
down.
In D5, we find nitrophenylamine, that is a breakdown product of nitrocellulose, and derivatives of DPA.
derivatives.
Of DPA, my lord.
Now go to the ballistics report and tell us what D5 was.
Can you avail me the report?
Please. But you have it. It's among
Ballistics
those things.
report?
Or you don't have
Can you avail me the
report.
ballistics report? Kindly.
Is this P31? Okay. Can you tell us from P31 what D5 was?
So under introduction, which is 1A, plate number 8, D5, swab from the muzzle for gunshot residues, exhibit 4.
That's page what?
This is the first page under introduction.
Okay. And so D5 is described as a swab from the muzzle of the gun.
It's written here that swabs from the muzzle for gunshot residues, exhibit 4.
So D5 is a swab from the muzzle of the gun.
Muzzles of gunshot.
Residues,
gunshot.
exhibit 4. That's what is written here.
Okay. Okay, maybe on your documents there you have police form 17
On which document?
on this one, which starts with P32. You have police form 17,
Let me check. So this is the ballistics report I can.
No, the one with your report.
No, doesn't have PF17.
So maybe can you give the witness, my lord? Prosecution, identification number 37. Police form 17A, dated 100. Police form 17A dated. Have you got it? Yeah, dated 3rd November. PID 37. Are you there?
Dated the 3rd of November.
Yes.
Yes.
What's the second page? Last item.
Yes.
Read it.
The last exhibit, which is D-5.
D-5, right?
Yes.
And now read.
Swab from the muzzle for gunshot residues. Exhibit 4.
So swab from the muzzle for gunshot residue. Exhibit
4.
And just confirm to this court on the previous page what exhibit 4 is.
Exhibit 4 is the first one here, I guess, the black as the Stava Arms pistol gun, serial number UG 16-222-00061 CZ99. Compact, recovered from the top bed of the master bedroom at the crime scene.
So D5 is a swab from the muzzle of the pistol in issue.
Okay. The swab from the muzzle of the gun, which is the pistol, which is the item number 4 here.
And the muzzle is the mouth of the gun.
Okay.
Right?
I'm not a ballistics expert, but yes.
Okay. Yes, we'll go. So now let's go back to your. So the closest test we have to what came out of that gun is D5. Because you didn't test the gun, right?
You didn't test the gun?
Yes. For gunpowder. You didn't have the gun.
We didn't have the gun.
And you didn't test the powder in the ammunition.
We didn't test the powder, yes.
So the closest thing you have is a swab of the muzzle, which was actually done by police. Right?
Come clear in your question.
The closest thing you have is a swab from the muzzle.
That's D5, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
So I want, the allegation is that this gun was being used to shoot, right?
That's the allegation, yes.
And that gunpowder has come from this gun and been deposited on other substances, right?
Well, surfaces, you mean?
Surfaces, right? Right? At the very least, what is in the gun is what needs to be on those surfaces.
There are very many uncertainties that will bring out.
But that's a general.
So it is alleged that this gun was used to shoot, and that gunpowder from this gun is.
Pardon?
You ask that it is alleged that this gun was used to shoot,
Yes.
and you said yes, and then you ask a second question. That gunpowder from this gun was supposed to be.
It's supposed to be that it is from this gun. That's the primary source of the gunpowder that is being.
What is the primary source?
The gun.
Yes, the gun is.
So a test of the ammunition or the muzzle, what you get there should give you an exact match.
The test of. The test of. What's your question? The test of the what?
You didn't hear my question?
I didn't hear your question.
Okay, my question is, the gun, yes, is the item that's depositing gunpowder.
Yes. The gunpowder, you mean, so what you're meaning is that the gunpowder comes from the gun?
Yes. From this particular gun.
I did not test the gun. That you put that to me.
Okay. But what the gunpowder we find in the muzzle is from the gun.
The gunpowder I find in the muzzle is from the gun.
Okay. Okay, so you don't. Maybe let me wind up that ground because I don't think we'll make much progress. You do not know, and you did not test the gun and the ammunition in this case, right?
No, we didn't.
And you cannot tell if any of the substances in this case has the exact makeup of the ammunition in this case.
We tested the substances that were given to us.
No, my question. You cannot tell, because you didn't test the ammunition, you can't tell if what is on that ammunition, the actual makeup of the ammunition, is what is on these substances.
My lord, I do not know where these test items came from, whether from the gun, whether from where. I received blind samples.
So you cannot tell if the gunpowder on those substances is the same gunpowder that came from the gun.
Because I received the blind samples.
Okay, so you don't know where those things came from.
That's one we've already answered.
So the answer is yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. That's it.
So atutwairege table ya 42 egebege nebazawo DNA report. Then yatutwara exhibit 10-1 ako rukabo rugoye lwebasazire ha kitogi kibasangire opposite yekitabu kibabe ni bararamu kya A1. Then yatugamba we tali expert wa DNA, so yatugamba tali niwe wenka yatestingire a gunshot residue. Then yatugamba D5 yatugamba apart from D5 busawo ebintu bindi byafunirwe bikuraba mu bisatu kuruga mu gunshot residue. Then yatugamba D5 bikaba ebyazoire kuruga mu omunwa gw'emundu babinaminga exhibit 4. Then yatugamba uwe atatestinge e powder y'emundu. Yatugamba uwe akaba na omunwa ogw'emundu gwe banamingire D5. Then yatugamba emundu niyo primary source ye powder y'emundu. Then yatugamba akimanyire nte powder y'emundu erugira mu mundu. Then yatugamba uwe atatestinge ebyabaire mu mundu ye bakoleseize. Then yatugamba takusobola kugamba nti powder ya testingire ekaruga mu mundu eyakoleseive. That's where we are, my lord.
Thank you. So, you only received swabs?
Received the swabs and pieces of fabric.
Okay. Does any swab that you received or fabric have an exact match with all the items in D3, in D5?
Does any
swab that you received have an exact match with all the items in D5?
You mean if there is any other swab?
Is there any other swab with all the 3 items which are in D5?
No. Because any other...
Please. My question was...
Yes.
Answer.
What?
You answered my question.
That...
No, you asked.
I know, didn't you get his answer?
What
Give me
is
a
your
chance to think again.
Does any swab received have an exact match with the items in D5?
Does it have all the 3 items in D5?
And in this, you mean counting 3 substances appearing?
The 3 substances, the exact same 3 substances in any other swab apart from D5. Is there any with 3 swabs, and are those 3 swabs the exact same as we have in
Items
D5?
detected in D5.
No?
No further questions, my lord.
Is that it for cross-examination? Yes, re-examination.
My lord, we are going to ask for time to prepare for re-examination.
How much time do you require?
My lord, court will note that, and we really are grateful to court's intervention today. Until this morning, my lord,
Allow him to speak. No. Mr.
My
Karuha.
lord, he wants to attack me. Let's get
How
the time.
was he wants to attack? Where have you seen the attack?
I know him, my lord.
Attack.
My lord, I know him very
my
well.
lord, I'm not attacking my good colleague.
Mr. Mwaganya is sticking to his lane. Allow him to make his case.
Yeah. So, my lord, until this morning, the greater part of yesterday, the cross-examination was not allowing any reasonable room for logical recording of answers from the witness.
You see, my lord, he's just tell us how much time he needs.
So, in order for us to do a thorough re-examination, and my lord, this is a very important exercise. So for us to do a thorough re-examination, my lord, we will need to interface with the transcript of what this witness recorded, because it is the only source of information we will be sure to get everything that we never recorded. We have inquired from the IT team, and they have informed us that the record is voluminous, but they can avail this transcript tomorrow.
So if they avail it tomorrow.
My lord, if they avail it tomorrow before midday, we will be in a position to proceed on Thursday. Yes, my lord. My lord, secondly, I believe it is not an attack on my colleague. It's a fair position. My lord, also, secondly, the expert asked us to accord him time to interact with the literature that he was confronted with, and we believe that still within that time, that would be sufficient for him to have read, internalized, and handled the re-examination.
That's fair enough. Thursday.
We have no objection. You should have just asked for a day.
This case is adjourned to Thursday. 17th April 2025 for re-examination.